So after 5 years of waiting after the second Kung Fu Panda, and after multiple delays, we finally get Kung Fu Panda 3. And even though Home was a financial savior for DreamWorks, I'm still not sure how that happened. Nobody's really explained to me how that works because How to Train Your Dragon 2 made just as much domestically, and even more worldwide. So maybe there's something that I'm just not getting. But the point still stands that Home apparently saved DreamWorks Animation. But it wasn't really that much of a hit with the critics. The Kung Fu Panda movies, however, have been great for the critics. Can Kung Fu Panda 3 do the same? Yeah, it's good. But not that good. Before I explain myself, let me go over the story. Kai, a former friend of Master Oogway, has come to the mortal realm to steal chi from the living. And chi is a new thing that has been introduced in this series. Meanwhile, Po meets his real father, and he wants Po to come back to the secret panda village where all pandas have been living in the past, few years. And by few years, I mean a couple decades. Because everybody thought that Po was the only panda left. Eventually, they all find out about Kai because he sends these Jade Warriors. And they're made from the stolen souls, or chi, I guess, from Kung Fu masters. So it's up to Po to learn this new technique of chi and save China once again. And it turns out pandas are all about chi, so he needs to go back with his real dad to the hidden panda village so he can learn from them. Now, first of all, this movie is a lot sillier than the first two. They lay it quite hard on the jokes. And it's also a bit faster paced, especially in the beginning. And once Po gets to the panda village, there's a lot of jokes, just non-stop jokes. Not that that's bad, because a lot of them are pretty good, but it's almost constant. There's hardly any breathing room. You don't get many slower moments until the last third. This movie is also a lot more stylized than the other two, with very vibrant colors. And it also has a couple of 2D segments like in the second one. And I guess there was that one from the first one too. And speaking of that, there's actually quite a few callbacks to the first two. By the way, I also did videos on those this week, so you can go check those out. I would still say the second one is probably the best out of this trilogy, mainly because I think the villain in that one is probably the best one. The villain in this one is good, mainly only because he's voiced by J.K. Simmons, and that's great, but there's not that much attachment to him as there was with Shen. In the movie, they're even like, who are you? But I still think this is probably a good ending to the trilogy, if they are going to end it here, because it seems like Po has completed his arc. So if the series ended here, I'd be fine with that. Though this is DreamWorks, so what am I saying? Of course they'll probably make another one at some point. Or some kind of spin-off like they did with Penguins of Madagascar. Or they'll continue the TV series, which they have a TV series for almost all of their movies. But again, Kung Fu Panda 3 is good. Not as good as the other two, I don't think. Especially since I rewatched the first two this week, I think those are a bit better. But this is still a nice end cap. So if you've seen Kung Fu Panda 3, tell me what you thought down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'd like to give thanks to my patrons this month. Thank you so much for supporting me. It really helps out a lot. And if you'd like to support me, click the annotation for the Patreon link. And if you want more movie reviews, click the playlist. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.